Hi guys, this is Love and Info with Love and Info. How do you guys like the background? Yes, it's not my bathroom, but I was excited to make a video here just because of that. Alright, so before we start with today's subject and all of that, let me fix my neck. There we go. Why am I wearing a hat? Because no matter how much I love my hair, sometimes it just gets too long. And I just feel like not dealing with it. Plus, it looks like I'm wearing a crown, look. Or one of those baby hats with a little thing on the front. Anyway, so I want to talk about, first off, I want to explain to you guys how much it means to me and what it really, the effect that making these videos has had in my life this last year, and the effect of all of you guys' comments and feedbacks and just people telling me that they like it and people being interested. I don't care if it would have been 1 person, 10 persons, 1 million people. I don't care. I just want to touch something. I just wanted to get through, and I did. I broke that thin glass in between me and the reality in which I'm doing what I love to do, you know. And that kept me alive this year, because this was by far. I mean, I hate to play the martyr. I always I try to be very strong in myself. I try to believe in myself, you know, lately at least. But I've always had, to be honest. And I hate to talk about, you know, bottom line, what I'm trying to say is that I've been through some fucking shit in my life, and this year has been fucking hard. That's really what I'm trying to say. You know, it cannot even compare to anything. It can't compare to any change that I've had in my life. The drastic changes that this year had brought along, you know, to me, and that I've made this year. It's just to think and where I was last year and where I am now, and to look back and to see myself. I just want to give myself a hug, you know, because I'm just like so fucking proud of myself, and I'm so happy because I have someone to thank, and that this is my art and this is you guys. So every time that I would tell you guys on my videos on my other channel, Love and Info, that you guys will keep me alive, that you guys kept me going, it was fucking true. I don't know where the fuck I would be right now if it wasn't because of this platform, of this outlet, of one watcher. Because to me, one, it's all, and all, it's absolutely nothing. Because the numbers mean absolutely nothing to me. So what I'm trying to say by that is that you saved my life. You literally did. Because to be able to make something that can teach somebody, or they can make somebody laugh, or someone willing to learn, or anyone can even find any kind of amusement or substance to my art, completely keeps me alive, and kept me alive, and kept me through all those changes, you know. It wasn't just the change within my lifestyle. It wasn't just the change of heart, the change of attitude. It wasn't just the redefining of a mental state. It was the redefining of my skeleton, you know, of who I was, the reinventing of me. You know, one with a plan, with a print, you know. Like, I wasn't just shooting an arrow this time, and it's going for a target, and, you know, it's getting there. Anyway, all I really wanted to say was thank you. But like always, it took me 5 minutes. Thank you. Today we're going to talk about live, learn, and let go. And why it's so important to concentrate and focus on the present moment, on that we are right now, and not in the past. And I'm going to tell you guys about a couple of ways in which I end up trapping myself in memories of the past, and how I try to work myself out of them, because that's what I do. I live my life, I document it, and I offer my music and my art. So the way that I process information, everybody has different ways of like learning, or different ways of processing information, or different ways of judging, or different ways of doing absolutely anything that people does. So the way that I process information, the way that I learn stuff, is that I kind of just let it linger in the back of my memory. Every time I hear something important, every time I hear something, you know, like a message sent to you from, you know, either a direct person trying to teach you something, or you learning by just being around something, or watching something, or someone's teaching something else, and you're just there watching, anything. Every time that happens, I kind of just let it linger in the back of my head, and I don't think of anything at that point, you know, and then later on in life, it kind of comes back. So that right there makes me think of the past a lot. And I ended up getting stormed out and, well, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? What if I would have done this? If I would have done that? And all of that, a lot of the time, takes you into what I talked about before, which is the self-sabotage train. What is a self-sabotage train made? Well, like I told you guys before, it's usually made out of guilt. It's usually made out of remorse. It's usually made out of coulda, shoulda, wouldas. And I can't anymore. So that was just where mine comes from. Everybody has different kinds. You have to be very, I always say this, it's something that I learned and that I've been putting in practice. And I told you guys, I've talked about it in a couple of my videos kind of without knowing. In this last one, I was very direct. You have to be very careful of your thoughts. Okay? You have to be very aware of where any kind of negative programmation is coming into your body, into your soul, into your emotions, into your mind, into your mindset, into your state of being, and what defines you that moment right there. Because everything that you think, as humans, we tend to be overruled by emotions. And what are emotions? Emotions are the effect of our thoughts. Which, whether these thoughts are memories, in this case, specifically we're talking about memories, thinking of the past. So we have to be very aware. A lot of times we may be feeling this, like today perhaps, I was talking to a couple of coworkers, they were asking me what I used to do, how was my life before, they noticed that I sometimes talk about, stuff or say random shit, and I'm just like, oh fucking God, whatever comments they might have think that I've had a different life before. They kind of asked about it, and I was like, well, yeah, this is what I used to do, blah, blah, blah. And I, for once, I was really proud of myself because it was the first time that I talk about me being an escort or anything like that. Or just me living the fucking wild life and not giving a shit. That I didn't miss it. I just thought about it like a memory. I was just like, whatever. You know what I mean? But all of a sudden, just feelings of, exasperation, sadness kept coming to me. Why? Because that morning earlier, before I talked about this, I was thinking to myself how living this kind of lifestyle in which, you work 9 to 5, you're working fucking fast food, you do this, you do that. Like, I've had it before, but it's never been my only support in life. So, doing this and then all of a sudden realizing that you have to fucking work for your money. There's just no other option. There's no fucking way around it. And that being your life, and you have redefined and reinvented yourself to that, it gets weird. Like, shit gets weird, And so talking about the past, bringing up the past, thinking about it, it brought me into the state of mind in which I was just like out of it. And I was like, why am I so out of it? Why am I so out of it? So I kept backtracking all the way to my thoughts, where the emotions started. So you have to be big careful of your thoughts, So I started backtracking my thoughts. I was like, where did I make a left? Because I need to turn back. And to me, this specific moment in time, that's where it was. So that's what it's like to be aware of the negative programmation coming from, using the perfect example of being stuck in the past. So I made like this little diagram. My little setup here is a little delicate. So let me see if I can show you guys. It's a horror writing. You will be able to get absolutely nothing out of it, but I just want to show it to you guys. You see that? Yeah, so that way when I read it to you guys right now, you guys have an idea what I'm talking about. So, thinking of the past usually sets you back. Let me see if I can put this back. By the grace of Jesus, stay in one place and don't move. Yay! It worked. I think it did. My background's a little moved. Oh, fucking well. Alright, there we go. Not really, but it works. So, thinking of the past, these are the things that you think when you think of the past. You think of the good, you think of the bad, you think of the ugly. Right. So, all of those things, you think about them. I've discovered that for me, the healthiest thing to do, it's kind of like when you meditate. What do you do when you meditate? Every time a thought comes across your head, you dismiss it. But you can't brusquely dismiss it, because if you put any kind of aggression or intensity into it, that itself will become a distraction. So put that aside. Now, when you think of memories and when you think of your past, you simply learn what you have to learn from it and you move on. Can I do that? Fuck no. I get stuck in the past all the time. I'm still stuck in the past right now. Right now I'm thinking of what I was doing last year. But if we can all do that, it would be a perfect world, you know? And that'll be an equation in which whatever I'm saying is completely correct. So who the fuck really knows? And why am I making this? Look, I stole a new ring from my mom. And now, but most of the time, that's not what we do. At least that's not what I do. So where do these ideas take you? Well, when you think of the good, what's the first thing that hits you? Melancholic. You start feeling melancholic. You start missing that moment. You start feeling that experience that you felt right there and then. You want it again. What happens when you want it again? You get sad of the outcome of that situation that has changed. You try to repeat the situation itself now instead of moving on to the future, or you try to get the situation back. You can't bring the past back. That just don't happen. And if you do bring the past back, the cosmos of life is going to take something from your present. So it's just like bringing up the dead. Like you don't motherfucking see witch movies, you know, you just don't do that. But, so that's where that takes you. Now, thinking of the bad. Of course, thinking of the bad makes you want to bring the past back and change what just happened in the past. Or makes you feel guilty. Either of those two things end up making you regret. Either of those things put you on the train of self-sabotage. And that gets real dangerous. So, thinking of the ugly, same shit, you know, and it's all going to lead down to sadness, it's all going to be negative. You can't bring up the past, you know, you can't do any of that. You must forgive yourself, heal yourself, to free yourself. That's something that I mentioned in the first couple of videos, and I will always say it. Because life is all about what, you guys? Choices, levels, but it all comes down to balance. So, yeah, that's really all I have today. Don't think of the past too much. Move on with your life. It's the best thing to do. Because sometimes it just hurts, you know? Or sometimes it just feels too good. I'm not saying, like, forget everything you know. To be honest, I don't really know what I'm saying at all. But anyway, so I have a new song I want to sing. I have a couple of songs. I don't know what to sing. I want to sing something. My voice has been really fucked up lately, because I was sick. And like I actually tried to make a video for you guys of like my second album, and I was just like, no way, no fucking way, in fucking hell. Let's see. Okay, so I think Fallen Stars is a very good example. Oh, I was supposed to sing Fallen Stars. Okay, so remember how I told you guys at the beginning of all the changes in this year and what it meant to me and how I felt like coming up here and doing all these videos. Well, I didn't mention this earlier, but you know, at first, when I first started making these videos, it almost started chasing me. You know, it almost started chasing me. That's all I gotta say for it. But it did it. Chasing now, bitch. Just waiting. But anyway, so Fallen Stars is definitely a song that would describe the last year of my life. So I'm gonna sing Fallen Stars, and then if I feel like it, I'll sing another one. Everybody watching the show, everybody watching them go. They're the life of the party, they're that one big shot. Now their life is so broken and they're lost inside. Everybody work for their souls, but everybody knows where this goes. You can tell by their face they don't give a fuck. You can see in their eyes they have lost their mind, and they know that soon it'll be catch-up time. But they'll take all the pain while they're getting high. Ooh, the voice is not back yet. Everybody watching the show, everybody watching them go. And we washed our hands as we hide the truth, and we think we're better than the ones that do. Everybody watching the show, everybody watching them fall. And we shine on the spotlight with a one-track mind, cause we think they'll crumble if you turn on the light. Okay, so I definitely won't be doing another song. My voice needs a couple of more, like a week or something, and lots of teas. But I performed this Tuesday at Joey's Cafe. They're back, they open mics, yay. Woo! And also I have the new song Fallen Stars with hopefully my friend. So we'll talk about it later. Bye, you guys. Don't forget to shine. Remember, we're all stars.